The rest of the afternoon proceeded pretty normal. Well, as normal as it can with two teenagers walking around the house in nothing but diapers. We had lunch, sat and chatted about school, plans for summer, etc. Finally we settled down to watch a movie. Jane curled up on the couch beside me laying down. I wrapped my arm around. After we had watched about 20 minutes of the movie, Jane turned to me. "Peter, I'm worried." The tone of her voice told me she was serious. I stopped the movie. "What's wrong?" I asked, concerned. "Well, you know earlier when I didn't know I was wet? I told you it was because I was excited. The truth is it wasn't the first time recently. I think these diapers are starting to mess me up." Jane explained quietly, "I've peed myself a couple times on accident recently and then last night." Jane paused for a moment. "I wet my bed." "I mean, I had a diaper on, but when I woke up it was wet and I don't remember going." I decided it was time to man up and tell Jane one of my biggest secrets. "I did too," I admitted. "Did what?" Jane asked. "I wet my bed too, last night that is, well, my diaper really. It was a good thing I had one on," I replied. "Wait, you've been wearing the diapers at home too?" Jane seemed surprised. "Not just when you're around me." "Well, yeah," I said simply. "I told you as long as you had to wear them, so did I. If you can't take them off, I won't either." "That's not too weird, is it?" "Weird? Yes, it's weird," answered Jane, "but it's sweet. You keep amazing me, Peter." I went on to tell Jane about how I had dreamed about going in my diaper in front of my mom and how I had woken up in a soaked diaper. I told her about my other accident as well, though I left out the details of that dream. "Oh, Peter, that must have been awful." Jane sympathized. "Do you think these diapers are causing this? I mean, are we both going to turn into bedwetters again? I don't have a choice, but you should stop wearing them right now if that's the case." "I don't know what's going to happen," I assured her, "but I'm not taking this or in diaper off until you can take yours off for good. If I become a bedwetter, I'll deal with it." "I love you, Peter," Jane said, reaching up and kissing me. Then a realization seemed to hit her. "So if you've been wearing these all the time, does that mean you've, done something besides wet them?" Remembering the previous night, I instantly felt guilty. "I did take it off once, to do that," I admitted. "I don't blame you, Peter. I had to use my diaper and it was horrible. It's much worse than wetting." "It's okay, I would take mine off too if I could," Jane said emphatically. "But that's the thing, isn't it?" I said. "You can't. I promised you I was in for whatever you were in for." "Hold on a minute." I leaped up and ran out of the room, an idea suddenly coming into my head. I ran out to the hallway bathroom and locked the door, then closed it from the outside, locking myself out. I ran around and repeated the process in each of the other bathrooms. I returned to the living room and told Jane what I had done. "Oh, Peter, you shouldn't have done that," Jane exclaimed, looking distressed. "Don't worry about it," I assured her. "I'll be fine. That way I can't cheat, I'm as stuck as you are." "No, I really wish you hadn't done that." Jane sounded worried. What did she have to worry about? I was the one locked out. It's not like she could have used it anyway. We sat down and continued to watch the movie. While I watched the movie, Jane looked distracted. She started shifting around. She sat up on the couch and moved slightly away from me. After a while she moved her foot up on the couch and sat on it, bouncing up and down. What is she doing? I thought to myself. I tried to coax her to lay down on me again, pulling on her arm. She laid briefly against me and I played with her hair, but she continued to fidget and then sat right back up. A few minutes later she cried, "Peter, I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to see, but then you locked the bathroom and I've been trying all day to avoid it, Anne." Suddenly Jane's face turned the darkest shade of red I had ever seen. An intense look came over her. I recognized the look from before my sister was potty trained. Jane was filling her diaper. Jane stood up and clutched desperately at the back of her diaper, trying to stop the inevitable. She turned her back to me in embarrassment but then seemed to decide that was worse and turned around to face me. I gently took her hands and said simply, "It's okay." A few moments later it was over and Jane's face went from dark red to white as she realized what she had just done in front of me. I just couldn't hold it any longer. "I am so sorry," Jane said ashamed. "Let me get some wipes and I'll go in the other room and change." "You shouldn't have to deal with this." "Nonsense," I replied, standing up and kissing her on the head. "I don't mind, really." I went to the hall closet and got a towel to spread on the floor. I had Jane lay atop of it. "Peter, you don't have to do this, it's really gross," Jane said again. "Jane, I told you it's okay," I replied. For once I wasn't sure about that statement.